everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on Anticipation is mounting for today's game. And we've got Manning's Giants going up against Wilson Seahawks. And with that, we'll Seattle, home of the 12s. So we'll welcome in our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles
Square at Century Link Field in the beautiful city of Seattle, Washington. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. The slot man in motion right. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwan. A gain of 3, second down.
For him, because no matter what you do, he finds a way to uncover himself downfield. And the speed gets it from his mom, a former sprinter at LSU.
Takes a shot on the release. Says this will be incomplete. Orleans Darkwan, the intended target. And it'll bring up third down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
When Bobby Wagner's career is said and done, people are going to look back and say he was an absolute steal in the NFL draft. A Pro Bowl player for any team.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Here we go on fourth down with Manning. And he's got his man, Donnell. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
In motion left is Cruz. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Manning to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Here's Manning to throw. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. So opening drive, third down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll run with Darkwan. Stays on his feet, and he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On the run, Darkwa. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive. Here's Darkwa. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now it's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really love what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards to carry in production. And that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
And this one is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd down. And the defense for New York.
Jonathan Hankins is a run-stuffing defensive tackle. He creates a pile-up with each and every snap.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford. And, boy, he's been good. Baldwin with it over the middle. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. On 1st down, Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. Graham made his return to New Orleans in Week 8. Charles, you were there. What was the reception like?
The reception was good for Jimmy Graham. He spent the entire week not talking to the New Orleans media nor the Seattle media. Wanted to be just about the game, and he came in focused and locked in. Didn't get very many opportunities to make big plays. We were all wondering if he did score a touchdown, would he just for old time's sake spike it over the goalpost?
Couldn't find out. Just 3 catches for 34 yards. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Second and 10 now. Wilson. His throw caught right around the 6. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating 1st downs and moving the ball downfield.
Again, Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
try and burn some clock with a sneak. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal.
Almost want to go Shakespeare here. My kingdom for a yard. Quarterback sneak, nothing doing.
Better be careful. Shakespeare might sue you.
Yeah, he might come get me, right? Good luck with that, Bard.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And this Giants defense able to come up with a goal line stand. And tough starting field position here. Throwing on 1st down is Manning. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
To throw is Manning. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Here's Manning to throw. And he's got his man, Donnell. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a 1st down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And here the hook up good to Victor Cruz. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Darquan cuts left, and he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Slot man moves right. They'll run again now with Darquan. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Shift together here from the D-line. In motion left is Cruz. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And they'll run it here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Hit as he throws. Complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Yeah, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind and try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to...
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. And New York set to take the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Manning over the middle to Beckham. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves his sticks.
Well, that's the Kickstarter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain his calm and his poise. Because we know OBJ, he can run pretty hot and get excited out there.
Sometimes just one-handed grabs for him.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just throw it up there. He'll go get it.
And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And they're going to speed things up here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Field goal unit not out there. They want 6 before halftime. Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal. Now receiver in motion left. One final, and he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Victor Cruz in the final seconds of the first half. And the Giants add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Play clock winding down. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And quickly, they get to the line. Manning going to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Simple slant route, and partner, really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
The slot man in motion right. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Jarrell Adams taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And that score gives them a little more separation and a bigger lead.
A little more of a comfort zone now. They can do more things defensively, maybe take a few more gambles as they try to continue to extend their lead.
That's fielded in the end zone. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to get.
Come on, bro. What the fuck? Why the hell he can't catch that, man? That shit wide open. How the fuck you can't catch that? Hit him in the head. Twice that shit happened.
On their last drive that resulted in a touchdown.
Shit wide open, man. That's some bullshit.
To do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see
if they can do just game, man.
5 yards on the carry.
What the fuck is that? How is that not open?
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. To throw, it's Manning. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Manning now to throw, and he's got his man, Donnell. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cliff Averill in there.
He let one fumble. Shit.
It'll be a loss of about 8.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the lead now increases to 20-0. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. It's caught. Lockett. They give him a gain of 38. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred. Still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. 26 yards on the pickup there. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Here's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it.
Hey, boy,
Ball
I ain't hearing that guy
incomplete.
down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
On 3rd down, Wilson. That's caught at the 3. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
He in the wrong damn defense.
They're going on. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love it.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Cliff Averill in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. Manning to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle to Beckham. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll make it 3rd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Fielded at the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And for the first time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And he'll give it here to his running back. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
And this is a spot where you have your offense stay out there to get those few inches. It's too long for a field goal. It's not worth punting. So this is the right decision as far as I'm concerned, and they wind up picking up the first down.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Another notch there on the belt for Eli Manning, finding Odell Beckham.
Pick a route, any route. They're connected no matter what. Boy, those guys know how to figure it out, and they work hard at it in practice. A big reason why they're in the lead.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham from 10 yards out, and the Giants add on to their lead.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Eli's going to throw. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, time didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it. You have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Look goddamn business. Listen through that line.
Third.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
First down, this is Rawls. A beautiful fake. And he's going to pull his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And they're going to speed things up here.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done. We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Well, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. 3rd and short, it's both sides. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll go with Procise. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. He's got time in the pocket. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. And quickly, they get to the line. Manning gonna throw here. Over the middle here to Donnell. And he's brought down after a good game. It's a pickup of 21. And that leads to a New York first down. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Tries to hit Jennings, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He's going to let it fly. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to have a third down. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
To throw is Manning. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here's Brad Wing now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And look at this. It's a fake. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a big play that time on the fake punt. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Fresh set of downs here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Manning to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end.